Hello friends, you're the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Mage Knight. I made it through the first day, so now we're gonna start the first night. And I'm gonna prepare the second round. So first I've got to refresh the spell offer. So I'll take the lowest card here from the spell offer. They go all down, these two cards, and then I draw a new one and place this on top. I'll do the same with the advanced action offer. Remove the lowest one and then draw a new one and place that on top. Then I have to replenish renew the unit offer, and here I will remove all units and there be 4 new ones. Let me see. These are the first 3. This one again, the shock troops, and they are again the ones that might join Volker. Then we have guardian golems, herbalists, and finally the Utem crossbowman. And let's see, at the very end we draw one of these cards, the Song of Wind, an advanced action card for the monastery. Okay, so now we did our job here with the offers. Then we have to flip this table here, and now it's night. We roll again all 4 dice, and at least half the number of dice, so 2 dice, have to be of a base color. Oops, so yeah, that's perfect. We have 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue die in the mana offer. And finally, I will shuffle my deed deck, draw 2 cards, and then I'll determine the player order. Okay, to determine the turn order, we now use these dark night cards. These ones. Before we use these bright day cards. I've chosen that one, Sparing Power. It says once before the start of each of your turns, choose one. Put the top card of your deed deck face down under this card, or flip this card face down and put all deed cards under it into your hand. And Volker randomly chose Preparation. This is number 5, but it was clear anyway that he would go before me because number 6 is the last number. So this time we have to change the player order, and he starts now. So we draw the first card. This is again a wound card, so we have to roll, and if we roll the red side, which is not the case, the shock troops would have joined him. Okay, so now let's start our first turn in the night. I'm going to use the Sparing Power, and I'll take the top card of my deed deck and place it under this card. And now my first goal during this night is, of course, to attack this Mage Tower. It's in the desert, so now we have different values, movement values, and to move into the desert I now only need 3 movement points, so it's a little easier now. Okay, so I think I found a way to conquer this Mage Tower. So first I can show you here a Mage Tower. It's a fortified site. And this is the symbol for the Mage Tower. And it says, when revealed, place a violet enemy token face down on this space. The token is revealed during the day if a player is adjacent to it. Well, that happened earlier on in this game. While unconquered, can be assaulted and you get reputation -1. The defending enemy is fortified. If successfully assaulted, mark it with a shield token and gain a spell as your reward. While conquered, any player can recruit units and buy spells here. Spells can be bought for 7 influence plus a mana that is the same color as the spell being bought. Fine. So, first we have to enter this space. We need 3 movement points to do that. So, I will place this refreshing walk. And that gives me move 2 and heal 1. So, I do move 2. And then I will activate the peasants. And they give me also movement 2. To activate a unit, you have to take the command token and place it on the card to remember that it's activated. So now I'm allowed to enter this Mage Tower. And now I'll attack the fire mages and I will lose 1 reputation for doing so. So now first we have the ranged attack phase. And here applies a special rule. This is a fortified site, the Mage Tower. So it's not possible to use ranged attacks during the ranged attack phase. What you can do, you can use so-called siege attacks. That's a special kind of ranged attacks. That would be possible, but right now we don't have any siege attacks, so there is no way to do any damage to the Mage Knights during the ranged attack phase. Then we come to the block phase, and I will not block at all. They have a fire attack here, and that means that to block this, you need either a special magical block, or you could you need twice the value of a standard block. So I would need to generate 12 block points to block this attack. But I can't do this, so in this case I will not block at all. Then we come to the assign damage phase, and now I will take the full damage of this attack. It does a damage of 6. The damage is the same as the attack value. So now I have to take a damage of 6. And what comes now into play is this armor value here. And I can also assign damage to my units here. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. First I take a wound card and I give 1 wound to the unit. It doesn't matter if it is already activated or not, I can assign a wound to any unit which is not yet wounded. I can only assign a wound once to a unit. And it has an armor of 3, so if I assign a wound to this unit, it takes 3 hit points from this attack. So now there are only 3 left that I have to take. And I have got an armor of 2. So now I take another wound, and that reduces the wounds I have to take by 2, so I'm now at 1, and I have to take another one, sadly. So now I've taken all 6 wounds. Because with each wound I take on my hero, I take 2 damage. Because my armor value is 2. If my armor value was 3, that would have made a difference, because then I could simply give 3 to the peasants, and I could take 1 wound card. That would have been 3 then, because my armor value was 3, and I would not have to take a second wound card. But sadly it's only 2, so I have to take 2 wound cards and 1 wound card for the peasants. Okay, so that was the assigned damage phase. And then finally I can do the attack phase. They are immune to fire attacks. This is this special ability here. But that's not so important, I don't have any fire attacks anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I will play the improvisation, and the standard effect here is discard another card from your hand to get move 3, influence 3, attack 3 or block 3. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will discard 1 card, determination, and then I get an attack of 3. I need to have an attack of 5 to kill these creatures, so I need 2 more attack, and I will play the rage, and the standard effect gives me attack or block 2. So this is now enough to kill these fire mages, and that gives me 5 fame, the red banner. And we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And that allows me to level up at the end of the turn. So now I've conquered this Mage Tower, and I can place one of my tokens here to indicate that. In addition, I'll gain now as a reward one of these spells, and they can be pretty powerful. It's a hard decision actually. I think I'll take the Wings of Wind. And this spell has also 2 effects. The first effect is triggered by a white mana token, and it says when you play this, spend 1 to 5 move points and move 1 revealed space on the map for each. You must end your move in a safe space. Moving this way does not provoke rampaging enemies. And the second one would be Wings of Night, and there I need a white mana token and a black one. Target enemy does not attack this combat. You may target additional enemies. Pay 1 move point for the second enemy, 2 move points for the third enemy, etc. Okay, so especially the second ability is extremely strong. I might need this later on in the game. And I place this one also now on top of my deed deck, and I replenish the spell offer. Actually, I think I did not play this correct. I think I would have gained this reward at the end of the turn. And I'm not done yet, I forgot that. I will use this card here, Tranquility. And I will activate the strong effect. This is that one. And I use the green mana token, and that allows me to heal 2 or draw 2 cards. So now I can discard, or I can throw away these 2 wounds. So I'm fully healed now. Okay, and then this turn is over. Okay, and now we draw another card for Volker. And that's a green card, so he will move. Oh, and actually I forgot to re-roll the die I used. So that's a white mana now. And now he moves, and let's see. So he moves actually this way here. So he comes closer now. And then I have to roll this green die from the source. And that's a golden one. This is bad because I cannot use golden mana during nighttime. So I will place this here on this brighter part of the table to indicate that this mana is, well, basically lost. Okay, and then we can start the next turn. And another mistake, I forgot to level up. After conquering the Mage Tower, I took 5 experience points, so now I'm allowed to enter the next level. And this time you can see here, it's not these 2 symbols, but that one. And this is a command token. So now I simply get another one of these command tokens, take the top one from here, and I can place it here. So now I'm allowed to hire 2 units or to command 2 units. And we now have different values here. This stays 5, so my hand limit is still 5, but I now have an armor value of 3. So every time now I take a wound card, it's worth 3 damage. Okay, I basically have only movement cards here for my next turn. So I think what I will do is I will explore a little more of this region here. It's a little sad. I thought about maybe using some influence to hire these guardian golems. That would be awesome. But the problem is I got no influence cards at all. This is a little, yeah, that's a little bad. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tirelessness. I'm really it's really bad that I cannot hire these golems, that I have no influence card at all. This is really a problem because they would be great. So I'm pretty disappointed here. But I see no way to do that. So I have to use this, I have to do something else. I simply use the tirelessness, and that gives me 2 movement points. And actually I'm thinking about... Yeah, I think I will use a blue mana die to get this stronger effect. That gives me 4 movement points, and each other card providing move, including cards played sideways, gives 1 extra move this turn. So this is pretty strong. And I will move here through the desert for 3 movement. And now I will reveal a new map tile. And that costs 2 movement. During day as well as during night. Okay. Okay, so this is my new map tile, and place it like this. As I said, the orientation was randomly, and oops. There we have now another Mage Tower. So maybe I can conquer this one too, and then simply hire the golems there. That would be great. Furthermore, we have now here another marauding orcs. So every time you draw these orcs, you simply can place a token face up. Well, he's got a lot of special abilities, but he's not that bad. And then we have this Mage Tower, and we will place an enemy's token here face down. Okay, actually I used 5 movement points, so I have to... that was not correct. I should have done that. I should have played this card before. But okay, I can't change it now. So this card gives me now 3 movement points because of that one, which says it, I gain an extra movement point. So now I can actually move. I think I can move into this space. I think I got 2 points left. So let's check that. This would be 3, 5 for exploring, 7 for entering this space. So we got 4 and 3, it's 7 exactly. So now I'm here, and I think there's nothing else I can do actually. Okay, I think this is my end of the turn. I'm not really happy with it, but I don't really know what to do now. I need 5 movement points to enter the forest during the night. This is pretty hard. And by the way, this enemy token here is not revealed during the night if I'm adjacent to it, only during day, but not during the night. So if I attack now the tower, it's going to be a surprise. I hope not a bad one. Okay, so it's now the end of the turn, and I will roll the mana die. So I've got another red mana die here. Then I'm allowed to draw 2 cards. Oh, great. This is ridiculous. I got nearly no fight cards. Now I got this influence card, but it's gonna be pretty hard fighting without any fight cards. So This is gonna be really tough. Oh man. And then the general will have another turn. And this time it's a blue spell. And these spell cards actually allow Volker to move twice. So now we got here the blue arrow. So now he moves one step. Volker can cross lakes, it's no problem for him. And another one. So he's now here. He's coming closer and closer, which is not exactly what I enjoy. Eh. Fine, and then we have to reroll a die if there was a blue die in the mana source, which is not the case. So his turn is over now. I'm not happy with the situation here at all. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do now, at the beginning of this turn, I'm gonna flip this card face down and then take these two cards so now I have a bigger hand and I can do maybe some more actions. This is bad. Oh man. Well, okay, I got these two. Well, let's see. I think I'll try and attack anyway. So, yeah, but the question is, how can I do that? First I have to enter this, and this is hard enough. Oh man. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna try to attack this Mage Tower now. And I'm gonna use move 4, and to activate this stronger effect, I'll take the white mana die. And then I play this one sideways, so this allows me now to enter this area. And I lose 1 reputation when I attack a fortified site. And now we flip this token, and this is bad. These are fire golems. And I'm afraid they are too strong for me. So my basic problem is they have an immunity, a physical immunity. So that means to kill him, I would have to generate even some magical attacks, which I cannot do, or I have to generate 8 attack points. And I don't have 8 attack points. It's simply not possible to do that for me. So what I'm going to do now is, this is really bad. I was pretty unlucky here. I will use this one here, the Wings of Night. And well, let me see what I can do now. Okay, so what I do now is I will use this one, Concentration, to gain a white mana token. So here we are. Then I use one of my blue crystals. And I use this one, Crystallize, to gain a crystal of any color to your inventory. This is one of these. This is the stronger effect here. And I take a black crystal. And now I can play the strong spell here, the Wings of Night. I pay the white and the black mana. And that says now target enemy does not attack this combat. So there is no attack from the enemy, which is good. So I don't take any damage during the assigned damage phase. I could attack now. The problem is I only have this ranged attack of 3, but I need an attack value of 8, so there is no chance to do that. Yeah. So now I simply have to retreat, have to go back here, because I was not successful, and that's the end of this combat. So I did pretty bad, lost 1 reputation, lost a blue crystal. That was definitely a bad turn. Okay, so now it's his. He can draw a card, Volker, and that is a white action card. So now he will move, and this time he moves in this direction here. So that means he moves to an unexplored space. And that allows him now to explore this space. Okay, and we now have this tile here. So we place a rampaging orc here. And there is a Mage Tower and an altar. And I'm really in some trouble now. I don't know really what to do. Again, I have a lot of movement cards here. No fight cards, just that one. I could use that one maybe, I'm not sure. The problem is there is no white mana in the source. Only 2 red and a black one. So I cannot use this attack ability here. Okay, I think I have a plan how to conquer this tower this time. So what I do first is I activate this skill, this healing skill that allows me to heal the peasants. And in addition, it gives me a white crystal. So the wound goes away now. Okay, first I have to attack the tower. So I need 5 movement points, which is pretty bad. I use stamina and I activate the strong effect by using my blue crystal. Well, let's place that here just to remember that. And then I play March, and that gives me now enough points to enter again this Mage Tower here. And again I lose 1 reputation because I attack a fortified site. And now we have again the ranged attack phase, and I cannot do a ranged attack because they are fortified, so I need a siege attack, and I don't have a siege attack, so I cannot do that. Then they attack, and they have this fire attack 3. Okay, and I don't block this fire attack. I take the damage, or actually my peasants take the damage. So it's now a damage of 3. And again, they take a wound. Oh, I forgot one thing. These guys are brutal, so they do double the damage. So they do 6 damage, and that means I also have to take a wound. Now I have here an armor value of 3. So I can take 3 damage if I take 1 wound. That's not good, but I have to live with that. So I took the 6 damage now, and then I can do the attack phase. They are physical immune, so I have to do a damage of 8 to kill them. So first I will use the strong effect here, and I take 1 die from the source. This is actually my first die during this turn. So I can do now, I did 4 damage now. Then I play this card here, and here the strong effect says ranged attack 3. Now, during the attack phase, the normal attack phase, not during the ranged attack phase, I can play any kinds of attacks. So I can play range attacks, siege attacks, doesn't matter. It's different during the ranged attack phase. If the enemy is fortified, I can only play siege attacks. If the enemy is not fortified, but I'm in the ranged attack phase, I can play siege attacks and ranged attacks. And if I'm in the normal attack phase, I can play any kind of attacks. So in this case, I can use the strong effect of this card, and to trigger that, I will use this white crystal. So now I have an attack value of 7, and I can use my last card here, my last action card, and play it sideways. So that gives me now exactly 8. So I just managed to kill these guys. Now that was pretty tough. That was hard, and that a little painful. But I did it, and I can take now 5 experience points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm at 17 now. And in addition, I will gain a spell as a reward. And I think I'll take this one. The Whirlwind. The white one says target enemy does not attack this combat. The stronger one says play this only in the attack phase of combat. Destroy target enemy. So that's a pretty cool thing, I guess. And again, I did this too early. Of course, I announced the end of the turn now, but I should have done that before I gain the reward of the combat. So it's the end of the turn. I lose my 2 crystals. All the cards are discarded. I keep this wound card. And yeah, I can now mark this Mage Tower as conquered by me. And then I can draw 2 new cards. And that's it. And of course I can level up. That's a good thing. So I can draw now another advanced action cards, and technically I have to do this before I draw new cards. That is important now because this card then will go into my hand in the next turn. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this card here, In Need. That's pretty interesting because, as I said, I might take some wounds during this game. And it says influence 3, get an additional influence 1 for each wound card in your hand and or on a unit you control. And the strong effect gives me 2 influence for each wound card in my hand or in a unit I control. So that could be interesting. And then the offers are replenished. And if I take a middle card here, this one, this is placed down, shifted down, and I replenish the offer by placing the card at the top, Blood Rage. And this time, this one, the spell offer, is also replenished. Okay. And now I can draw new cards. And that's basically it. And then I have to draw a card for Volker. And this is bad. This is definitely bad. This is a red spell. So now I'm in real trouble. Because red spell means he tries to attack a Mage Knight. And if there is no one adjacent to him, he goes 2 spaces away from him. So in this case, he will attack me. And that is really bad. Okay, so, yeah, this is pretty bad. Actually, that is probably basically the point where this game begins to look really bad. Because now I have to fight all the troops and this guy himself. So I'm in real trouble and I have no fight cards. So basically now I'm gonna take wounds and wounds and wounds and I'm really in trouble. Okay, anyway, let's see. We have here these guys, I think they're called freezers. We have here the guards. We have this swamp dragon, which is luckily not too bad. We have here these orcs and more orcs. Great. And then we have to fight him himself. And we have to roll a die to see what kind of attack he does. So let's roll. And that is the green one. So he does a normal physical attack of 4. With the special ability Brutal Assassination. That means I can assign no damage to my troops. And Poison. And that means I have to take an extra wound card if I take a wound card. So this is pretty bad now because, yeah, this is definitely terribly. There is not so much I can do now. I'm just in real trouble. Okay. Oh man, this is frustrating. This is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened now. I mean, we have all these cards here, and there is only one card in the whole deck which triggers this effect. So, oh man, this is really bad. So let me see what I can do now. Not too much, actually. I cannot even cancel the attack of one single enemy because I don't have a white mana in the source. There are 2 red ones and a black one. Don't have any crystals. There's nothing I can do basically. I cannot even activate one strong ability. Okay. Yeah, it's really bad. So all I can do is I can throw away these 3 cards to block an attack, and well, I guess I will block these guys here. They're the only ones. Yeah, that's it. This is terrible. So yeah, I will use these 3 cards to block these guardians. They have an attack of 3, so I can block them. And that's it. I cannot block any other enemies here. So I have to take a lot of damage now. First we have 3 damage here. Plus 5 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Oh man. Plus 4 is 16. And then this guy is brutal, so he gives us 8 damage. So, oh man, this is 24 actually. And then this poison effect. Okay, we have an armor class of 3. So that means we have to take 8 wound cards. And the poisonous one too. So that brings us to 9 wound cards. This is completely ridiculous. And normally that would be a very good time to stop playing this. Oh man, but I will go on, of course. If you know me, I will not give this up. Yeah. If a unit gets wounded because of an attack from an enemy with poison, it's given 2 wound cards instead of 1. Ha! For each wound card a hero takes into his hand from a poisonous attack, he also puts 1 wound into his discard pile. Great! That's great. So it's even 1 additional wound. So let me see. Oh man. Yeah, I take 2 wounds in the discard pile for that. And then I take 8 wound cards in my hand, I think. 3, 8, 12, 16, and 4 is... No, wait a minute, that's... No, it's not... Yeah, of course, because it's doubled. Because of the brutal. So it's 24, so I take 8 wound cards. This is fantastic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fabulous. Okay, so yeah, this... Now it would be actually a good time to stop the game because, well, this is pretty ridiculous now. With 8 wound cards, I'm getting so slow now through the deck that it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'll try it anyway. I mean, whatever. That was really bad luck. Okay, so yeah, that's the glorious end of this round. It was terrible. But I think I don't have to say that. It was just a terrible round, especially because of this single spell card here, which completely destroyed this game. Okay, well, maybe there's a little hope. His army is actually not so strong. So, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll come back. Do you believe it? I don't. But, okay, whatever. I hope to see you in my next videos, and until then, bye. Well, actually, after I'm now... after the first shock, I realized I made a mistake, a small one. I forgot to take one of these skill tokens. So I can now reveal the first 2 skills and choose one. Well, that looks good. This seems to be a healing skill. That's definitely something I have to take. I think there is no need to even look for the meaning of the other one, but I'll do it anyway. Let me see what that is. It's one of these new cooperative skills. With the new expansion, for every character, also of the base game, you have now an additional cooperative skill. So if you play now cooperative scenarios or solitaire scenarios, you remove the competitive skills and you can use the cooperative skills instead, which is a pretty cool option, I think. So it says Howl of the Pack. Once a round, except during interaction, 1 card played sideways gives +4 instead of +1. For each of your command tokens with no assigned units, it gives another +1. Put this skill token in the center. The first player who encounters combat with enemies returns the skill to you, face down, and reduces the armor of chosen enemy by 1, and 1 attack of the same or another enemy by 1. So that's also a very good skill. But in my situation, I have no choice. I have to heal. I have to take that healing skill. Otherwise, I'm completely done. And yeah, okay, so that's it basically. And we have to draw another skill from this guy. That seems like, I don't know, let's see what that is. Bonds of Loyalty. When you gain this skill, add 2 regular units to the units offer. Put this skill in your unit area as a command token. It costs 5 less influence to recruit a unit under this command token. This unit can be used even when the use of units would normally not be allowed. You cannot disband this unit. So this is actually also very good. I might take this one from the common offer next time. I really think about that. But let's see if there will be a time to level up. So, now we're really done. Well, okay, we have this. Maybe that makes it a little better. Still, yeah. Okay, hope to see you in the next video. Bye.